Yo, what's up, my Ricans? This week we are going to be covering a couple of topics. One of them was my adventures and fun, and I call it an adventure because trust me, it was that at Trek Long Island. Also, we're going to be talking about a couple of things. One, Batman, Cape Crusader, a horror that's soon to be coming up. And I don't know if you're a fan of this, but I certainly am. Evil Dead Birds. Well, as the captain once said, go Sulu.
I'm Lou. I'm not a fan of Evil Dead. I'm actually scared of horror films, literally. And we will talk about that later on.
So, hit it! And what's up? How you doing, my Puerto Ricans? As always, this is your boy Mo, Lou, and we're up to another adventure. And I have to say, it was an adventure, bro. I had again the extreme pleasure, as always, attending Trek Long Island. That's the Star Trek convention that they have, or Star Trek Con. We don't even say the word convention anymore. Star Trek Con that they have in Long Island. This is like my 4th year in a row volunteering for that, and I gotta tell you, it's amazing. It's amazing, being there because, growing up on Star Trek and watching it, and you have people from the original series, Deep Space Nine, Stranger Worlds was there representing, and it's not so much the shows that were my favorite, it's just the people in them. And I think, for instance, Dan Gianotti, I was asking questions of each one. Just telling them this, I have my own podcast and wanted to, brush up on my interview. So I asked them all each the same question. What is it about the cons itself, that you like the most? Generally, had the general answer of the people. I liked his answers best because he put it as, people only see me as my character on television. They don't know me. So this gives me a chance to interact with them, talk with them, so they can see who I am. I'm just, just like any other guy. And it kind of rang true because I was watching the actors consortium that they have on YouTube. Sometimes they'll have a bunch of different actors sit down and they talk. And I'm trying to remember exactly whether it was Charlie Hunnam or Tom Hiddleston, where they were saying the same thing. I said, I am not my character. As a matter of fact, it was Hunnam, Charlie Hunnam, because it's like people mistaking him for what he did on Sons of Anarchy. And they say, I am not my character. I'm a different kind of, I'm a totally different from that person else. So yes, in a way with Dan, he is Sam Kirk, but what you see is what it is as a character he portrays and and creates based on what like you said, the writers. But as a person, he's a sweetheart of a guy, funny, whatever. And I remember him signing a picture, Holy Moses. I was like, I got that a lot growing up, and I was telling them about an incident where a guy I used to work with, he never failed on Easter Sunday, come Monday, I come into work, and he's always sitting in the chair, like this, like the old burger sat. And as soon as I come walking in, he goes, Moses? Who is this Moses you speak of? Always, without fail. That first year I was like, really? But after that, it became like a badge of honor that he would even go that far to do that for me, which was fun. And I mean, all of them Nana Visitor. You know, I loved her characters. I was like, kind of like the kind of woman I would like to have, because she played a freedom fighter. She played an activist fighting for her people. She had religious beliefs. She was strong in her convictions, but she also understood somewhat of the politics involved. But she was a fierce fighter. Fierce fighter. Love that in a woman. Jeffrey Combs. Man, this dude pretty much played, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 different characters on Star Trek across the board. We're talking across the board in characters alone. From an Andorian, from with Deep Space Nine, I think, what do they call him again? The Dominion. And I forgot what his specific character was.
Yes. I know
he was the one that provided the Ketracel
Vorta.
White. The Vorta. They would bring the Ketracel White to the Dominion. They're a perfect example of pimps using drugs to keep their soldiers in line, because that's what it was. It's like I'm looking at him, he pops up the thing, the dude's like, I'm like, yo, they getting a hit.
Yeah.
Yo, they coming all over. Yo, what the hell? He a pimp. He's a drug dealer. I'm serious. And love that character. Love that character. Love the characters, because he could switch between one to the other. And I'm like, wow. Now that's character acting at its best. And then, of course, my favorite. I adore this woman. Celia Rose Gooding Uhura. And this is kind of like my second time seeing her, because I remember seeing her at another Trek convention. Actually, it's a creation convention. They're the ones who started the Trek convention to begin with. This was out in New Jersey. It was just nothing but Trek. We had The Next Generation. You had Deep Space Nine. You had Strange New Worlds. I even got a picture with Anson Mount there. And nice, I mean, all very nice people. But I remember seeing her again. And mind you, this is the weekend of the championship game. Saturday was the game. And I have a video of all of us, just the volunteers, my group, and then it was Celia, Dan, if I'm not mistaken, I'm trying to remember now, Chris. That's right. Chris Myers. Now, he played a short stint. At first, I thought he was going to be a doc, McCoy, but, given a different look, but wasn't that the way. And he went from a good character to a villain character to carrying on towards the end. But overall, he did a great job. But those are the 3 that were sitting with us watching the final of the game. And at the end, I'm just watching. And it's true. These are actors, but they're people. And I'm watching them, and I love it. Each one of them are just losing their minds with the Knicks win. And I mean, losing them, like, yes. And then, like, Chris is looking around, like, who do I, ha. And then Celia, they gave her the phone to a friend who was FaceTiming her, and she's like, they won! I'm like, I'm looking at her, it's like, and me and my buddy Lawrence, we're just both looking at her. We love her. She's so adorable. Because she's being herself, and that's her true self. And, hey, be your true self. Be it, because we do know you're actors, but on the flip side of it, we also, we kind of idolize your characters, because story to story each week, there's a lesson to be learned, and there are things in our lives that kind of pretty much mirror what the episode is about. So we learn. It's like we're sitting here stuff. What do I do? And all of a sudden, this show comes up and there's an episode, and you're looking and say, wait, that's what I'm going through. That's what I'm feeling, and of course, the writers come up with an answer that that should have been on you to be dawned upon, but it wasn't. But each week, more and more and more, we come closer to our characters that we love to watch on screen. And it doesn't make a difference whether it's Star Trek, if it's Star Wars, whether it's Marvel or DC, you know, the characters we grew up loving are the ones that we will continue watching, whether it's Henry Cavill playing the part, Tyler Hoechlin playing the part, Walter Koenig playing Chekhov, or another actor they would bring in to play Chekhov. Right now, in the final 2 seasons left of Stranger Worlds, they are going to be bringing in the Sulu character, and this is his first time ever being on television. And of course, what's his name? No, the Doctor, McCoy, and he's
What about Chekhov?
he was the no, that will be later. Chekhov came like around second season of the original series, so he's later. But the one I'm talking about with oh my God, is it Thomas Jane, the Punisher, before
okay.
Thomas Jane, he's playing the Doctor. McCoy. That's what I said. I'm like, is he too old? I said no. He's kind of perfect for it.
I would have gotten someone else, but yeah, he's all right.
Yeah, that's why I'm looking forward. Not looking forward to seeing the end, but I'm looking forward to seeing the character, even if it's 1 season or 1.5 of a season. But I'm looking forward to seeing how this develops and change. I'm like, I mean, I was all for the idea when they were announcing that there might be a Star Trek Year 1, which is continuing the Voyages, same Enterprise, except that Paul Wesley is playing Captain Kirk will now take over. And then you've got Sulu. You already have Bones McCoy. You have an Uhura. So the only one left would be number 1 would be leaving because Spock would have to take over her position as number 1. So with La'an, I don't know in what way, and I hope it's not killed off. You will hurt my feelings if you do this. There's a couple of characters,
Put them in their own ship.
No, I wanted to see them transfer and continuing, but they tied it in on one particular character, and Erica. She's the one that flies the ship, and Melissa Navia. And they brought it up on a different podcast that when they saw her in Starfleet Academy, they saw Lieutenant Erica Ortegas. So she didn't change her rank while she was in the 23rd century. She didn't go off. Like some of the others you had like Admiral or whatever have you. She didn't. So it's like, what's your ending going to be? And it's like, I'm hoping you have like a Top Gun end. That you just stay the lieutenant because you prefer to fly. And like Tom Cruise's character, Maverick. You prefer to be, your place you feel is behind the cockpit of an F-18 or whatever advanced ship.
Maybe they'll do what they did with Kirk.
Which is?
Kirk, he was Admiral, but he went back to becoming Captain.
Yeah, but that's the thing. On the Wall of Fame in the 31st century, Lieutenant Erica Ortegas. That's the same rank she has now in the 22nd century, going into the 23rd. So maybe her rank did not change.
Maybe that's the thing. Well, Captain Kirk didn't change neither. He went back.
Oh, he went to Admiral, but then he got bucked down to Captain.
Again, yeah.
He got bucked down to Captain. But it's interesting. I mean, yeah, you make a good point. She could move up and then she could be bucked down. But I'm just saying, I hope it doesn't.
Strong-headed.
Well, that's what makes her. That's what makes her good. At what she does, because she will, she flies the ship, she makes sure
my favorite
people
episode
get there.
Of her is when she shares her and the alien, what is that? What are those aliens they're always fighting? Captain Kirk did it in the original show. Throws a rock at him.
Oh, you mean the Gorn?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, when she had her episode with the Gorn?
Yes, that was a very good episode.
Did it not remind you of Enemy Mine?
Yes. Very well done. Yes.
I felt every moment of that situation, that scene. Oh, even up to the end, when they finally, found her and they came, they beamed in, and it was like, no!
Yes. I felt bad for that creature.
Oh, my God. My heart was like, oh, no.
Yes.
But the same alien, I think the Mecron, that was in the original series, another version of that alien was there. And he was doing the same thing, trying to get those two to work together, and he did. By putting him in that situation, that's what they wind up doing. And that was like, wow, interesting. But to me, it always refers me back to Enemy Mine.
Yes.
Always, that scene. Ah, love that movie. Love that particular episode for that part. I mean, there was so many. Kim Diane, he plays the Klingon. He plays the Klingon on Starfleet Academy. I just drew a blank on his name, but that being said, he is a complete, he's a complete sweet person.
I'm disappointed they canceled that show. It has
Don't even get me started on
it. It has so much potential.
It had a lot of potential, but for some reason or another, all I'm going to say is that there are politics and BS involved, which to me is nonsense. And that's why Starfleet Academy ended on its second season, because it said, oh, the ratings this, the ratings that. Said, no, because when they did a survey of us, and we were 200 people strong at the premiere, we, the honest, the people that have watched Star Trek almost throughout its all 60 years, said, there's nothing wrong with this show, it's great, I can't wait to see more. But then all of a sudden, it's like, oh, it's got the worst ratings ever. It's the lowest, oh my God. It's like, no, that's just BS. Because I look at it this way, you can manufacture a story and put it out there and people will eat it up. But you can't, but you can't manufacture the truth. And the truth was, New York City away team was there present, invited. We were there, we watched it. We were 200 members strong watching this, both the episode that started it, and we all said it in the survey, we all loved it.
I think also they should get an animated treatment, an updated version.
You mean like an animated version?
Mm-hmm.
Voiceovers? Oh, no, it's not that it hasn't been done before, because the original series left, then Star Trek, the animated series came out.
That's what I'm saying. They should come on with that. Maybe do the next generation. I mean, yeah, you could do the next generation, That was the most popular.
but a lot of them, I think, want to be up. I mean, they talked about it even when they did Picard season 3, when they had the panel at Comic-Con. Even Patrick Stewart said, people were asking, said, when are you going to come back and do a movie or something? He said, never know. If they ask us, we may come back.
It's weird.
I'd say yes, because even Marina Sirtis said it. Thank you for my career.
Yeah.
Because that's the truth. That's why they've lasted as long as they did, because of that. So I would definitely honestly say that anything is possible.
Mm-hmm.
Anything is possible. It's just a matter of, I guess, timing. I don't know about money so much, but timing. Is it the right time? It's like when season 3 ended, we all assumed when 7 of 9 took over as the captain now of the Enterprise G, we figured, okay, Star Trek Legacy, because they put a poster on it. We all were loving it, yeah, and then nothing happened from it. Because they had an end credit in which the kid, who is Picard's son, is visited by who? Q. Is that actually dead? He said, no, to Picard, yes, but your trial is just beginning. And I'm like, what? So it's like, how do you leave a big-ass, giant-ass carrot like that
I love the way
and snatch it?
I love the way he slapped Picard.
Oh, yeah.
I felt it. I mean, when you really think about it, he was like his son. I loved it. It made sense. He didn't do it just to do it. It made sense throughout the whole CNG series.
It does, because now when you look at it, it said, it's like God picked his favorite. Well, in this way, Q picked his favorite. He knew. I mean, the trial wasn't so much of humanity, because he already knew that, as far as humanity is concerned, what he represented.
Yes,
so he wanted to make sure he was okay. When he looked back, he said, no, these things need to be fixed, because You're not going to get to where you want to go if you're still holding on to this crap in the background.
Oh, when he introduced him to the board.
Well, that's a whole. I mean, yeah, he's responsible for introducing them to the board, but also then when the board came back, they came back for Picard,
There's certain episodes,
who became Locutus.
There's certain episodes I liked. I liked the trilogy on the Locutus because it was three. I don't care what they say. It was a trilogy. It was when they took him, when they got him back, and then when he went back home with his brother.
Oh yeah,
That was very heartfelt.
that was very heartfelt. Yes,
Yes.
because but he needed a kick in the ass. He needed that kick
Yes.
in the ass.
And then there was also the part, another series where Data creates his daughter. And last
No,
but not
that one.
least,
Don't even remind me of
Yes.
that one. That one made me cry.
and last but not least, when Data's on trial for being
Yeah, for his rights as a sentient being,
Yes.
being he's an android.
that Riker
Yes.
had to shut him off.
Yeah, you had to prove. I mean,
Riker hated it.
Riker did it. He hated
He
it.
hated it, yeah.
He hated it, but he had to make sure he did a good, a good. I wouldn't say defense. The prosecution needed to prove that
Yeah.
Data is just an inanimate object. He is not sentient.
Yes.
But in the end, Picard stood up and finally won the case.
And
For that.
like this segment, in the end, we must take commercial breaks. So we'll be right back after these breaks.
Mm-hmm. Till then.
That was a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome back to Middle East. As always, I'm Lou. Again, welcome back.
I'm your boy Mo.
Yeah, and we are going to discuss some more interesting topics, as always. The first one up is
Well, the first one up, I have to admit,
not
I'm a
comic
little.
book related, I believe it is.
This is more animated related because over during the.
I thought we were doing the horror.
You want to do that? Let's do that.
Anyway,
At the internet, or is it at the? I'm reading this. Annecy International Animation Film Festival, DC Studios, announced its new animated superhero series, Starfire. The reason why I mentioned that is because during the break we were talking about Lobo, and it's like, is that it for Lobo? But from what I've read already, the Thanagarians, Lobo, and Gotham City are all going to be part of this Starfire animated series coming up. So, excuse me, interesting to see how they're going to put that one together. Again, big Lobo fan. Love me some Starfire because.
but to make, this is the only problem I have. Lobo, if he did such a wonderful job in
The live action.
why bring him down?
Well, that's the thing.
Is it going to be voiced by?
Unknown. I would definitely say get him to voice it. Yes, because right now it's like that's my Lobo, bro. That's Lobo.
Yeah.
I can't say it any different.
If he's not going to voice it, then it makes no sense to add another voice to a character who is so good at the Supergirl to downgrade him to an animated series.
Yeah, no,
That's
to
okay.
downgrade him to no. I understand where you're going with this. Is yeah, it's a downgrade from going from a live action,
Yeah.
studio film. Then all of a sudden now you're doing animated. Like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
No, I say let him do the voice of that because you already recognize it and you like it. But yes, work on another. Like, where's he going to appear? Is he going to get a solo film, or is he going to show up again, but this time on Earth and to deal with Superman.
That would be, yeah, but only if it's Henry Cavill. Sorry, it's just this guy's not doing it for me.
Like I said, the only time it was discussed, and I think I discussed it in the last one as a rumor, that the only discussion that actually James Gunn had, and I read it, that he wants him to come back to be the DCU's Batman.
Yeah, I read that too.
Now, there's a plus and a minus to that. Plus is that with him playing it, I mean, the looks, the charisma, the fighting sequences, all that right there, you got it in Cavill. And he's got the movies and the projects that he's done before to prove that he can do it. Right? So, especially with the last one, that was it. The last one he did with Jake Gyllenhaal.
Just have one problem.
In the Gray.
Kevin Gunn is going to confuse the hell out of people.
I just say this, and I keep saying this. DC, you are the creator of the multiverse. But the only actual, the only actual studio that's actually making use of it and actually doing it right is Marvel.
Yes.
When it comes to the DC continuity.
This is the sad part. DC has, to me, the better characters. Okay,
I'm gonna agree in one part and disagree in another.
And the better animated series.
Oh, yeah, that goes without saying.
Marvel has. No, I'm sorry. Let me correct that. Marvel has the better animated series.
X-Men. I'm talking about.
No, I'm sorry, DC.
DC has the better animated features.
Yes.
This is true.
Yes.
And the only one that Marvel can really look
Yes,
upon as
X-Men.
good is X-Men '97.
Yes, that's it. Even the old X-Men.
Yeah.
But that's it. And in terms of the movies, they are top.
Yeah,
DC,
it's like...
DC is not top.
No, DC is top, Marvel isn't.
DC is not top. In terms of movies?
Well, in terms of movies, no.
Marvel.
It's a hit, then it's a miss. Then it's a miss, then it's a hit.
Yeah.
Then, and I'll just leave it at that as a question mark. Like, this wasn't, Superman wasn't so much of a hit, but not so much a miss. It was the in-between.
If I could bring back Christopher Reeve to play Superman.
Oh. Yeah, you need AI for that. And which, I have to say, some of the stuff I've seen with AI as of late, it's funny, there's one where it's actually Cavill and Cornsworth going at it, but Cavill kind of pretty much whipped his ass. And I'm like, ooh, is that trying to say something? Here's what I'm trying to say. Set the politics aside, set the money aside. Set all of that, set up whatever the personalities and BS aside. Okay? We, as the audience, we love Cavill because Zach was something that was real when it came to this version of Superman.
Both storytelling
Mm-hmm.
and characterizations.
Exactly. But it carried it so well that across certain shows, the lore of the show, its histories, its I like to say its culture. That's what I'm looking for. Its culture bled into, like I said, Supergirl.
How many of y'all did not feel some type of way when Clark Kent's father took Superman aside, and Clark Kent told his father, "I just want to be like you. I just want to, that I felt that as a Superman fan and as a person who is trying to be normal. You can feel that in those Cavill movies.
Mm-hmm.
Zack Snyder did his job, but
and so did Henry.
Yes.
He did his job to portray the Man of Steel,
but Henry Cavill, not Henry Cavill. I'm sorry, James Gunn. Oh my God, he makes me want to vomit.
I understand that. Again, storytelling done by two perspectives. And like I said, I agree with the one writer who said that he felt like he watched an animated feature, and that's what it looks like to me. An animated feature. I mean, not that they're saying that it's great, but it's okay. It needs more. Maybe, hopefully, in the second one, and there's supposedly a Brainiac element in this.
In a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the greatest, I give Superman 4. Can't even give him a 5.
With who?
I'm talking about the James Gunn version.
David Cornswell. Yes. With me, I'm going to give it a 5. Like I said, I like certain aspects, and in other aspects, I'm like, I didn't like it. I mean, I love Nathan Fillion as Guy Gardner, and the haircut.
It fit in. And again, I'm a huge Superman fan, so anybody playing Superman could do justice with it.
Mm-hmm.
But I felt that Cornsweat didn't do anything. He only did.
Remember, it's like you said before.
And it's not his fault.
It's not his fault. It's the acting and the writing.
Yes.
So James rewrote this character, but he should have then made it into an animated feature. Shouldn't have made it into a live action film.
Yeah.
You know, I get it. You know, but you know, I get up, I do this, I do that, and yeah, I fail. Like, okay. But that's not. I mean, that's not Superman.
No.
I mean, he doesn't express himself that.
When he expressed himself, everybody goes through it.
Right. But if I remember correctly, there was a time in the comic books in which he decided to take a walk from Metropolis to another town. He was just walking, and you know, people come by, they see him, and one was asking the question,
"Are you Forrest Gump?" Oh, sorry.
I don't know if he was or not, but that's what he was doing in search of, because he reached a point in his life he got tired. You know, villains that escape, come back, you know, people, you know, not looking to help one another. I mean, he's trying to. He was at that point where he was feeling like whatever he's doing something wrong, because nobody is following up on his example of how to be good. But then, when, you know, that's when he answered one question. I forgot the question that was given to him, but he said, "Look, Superman is what I can do. I'm Clark Kent, and he did came out to the world as Clark Kent. I'm a small-time boy from a town in Smallville. You know, as a farmer, and I grew up that way. But then I look at that in the comic book, and the only thing that comes close between either one, because in David Cornsweat, it's like they're farmers, I get it, but I don't know, he made them like hillbillies.
Mm-hmm.
So, I got your boots right here, I'm going to clean them up for you. I'm like, okay, it's a nice thing, but I don't know. See, with Zach, you didn't get that. You know, you got the speech. You said farming, you know, feeding people, that's not, you know, that's not helpful. And you had that argument, and he says, "You're not my dad. You're just a guy who found me." Ooh, and then the hardest price was paid on that when he lost his dad. But at the same time, his dad has been his guiding force to being the man that he is today. The man of, you know, man of steel, if you want to put it that way. When you introduce yourself to the world, people are going to be confused by this. I mean, he was trying to be as real as he could with him when it came to that, and that shows like the roots of his family, what they instilled in him as far as values are concerned. That even when he told the general, "I know you're trying to find out where I hang my hat, you won't," and he says they didn't know what his intentions are. He says, "I grew up in Kansas." Hello.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I mean that's the nuts and bolts of it, the writing, and I'm going to say this honestly.
And again, it was Henry Cavill.
I'm going to say this honestly, but I don't want to say this in a facetious sort of way. I know you're trying to save money in a way, and you feel that you have a vision or whatever, but step down as a director.
Yes.
Be the CEO. You want to look over someone, but don't hound them to the point where they can't do their job.
Mm-hmm.
There are plenty of directors out there, young and established, some who are waiting for an opportunity to get a character like this and do something with it. Step aside, bro. I mean, if you want to continue filming, then step down as a CEO and leave it to Peter Safran to run the duties or whatever.
And Warner Brothers, make him step aside. If you want to do it voluntarily, please, take him out.
Shoot his pinky toe off. Let him know you mean business.
Do what needs to be done with Trump. Just put him aside.
Oh.
Put him aside.
Well, so, either way, it's like step down. If you want to direct, stay with direction. Stay with it. At least put your full efforts into it. I'm not saying you didn't, but what I'm trying to say is that you've got 2 misses, if you want to look at it that way.
Mm-hmm.
But, it's like your direction leaves a little to the imagination in that respect. Like, what are you doing? At least, like I said, Zach made a real version of this character and it came from, and he did use source material, Superman Earth 1.
Yeah.
So that was a prime example, especially that scene where he was a bar heap and he saved the girl, and the guy tried to push him back and he bounces off of him, throws his beer in his face, and then throws a beer in the back of his head. And he's like, that's like, yo, I'm gonna tear this. I said, okay, I got you. Come back and his truck is in pieces with the wood that he was carrying, it being impaling in it.
But in the new Kurtzman, whatever Superman, the Superman versus Lois.
Oh, okay, Superman and Lois.
The Superman versus Lois.
No, Superman.
I get, yeah.
Lois and Superman.
Yeah, that one.
Superman and Lois, excuse me.
Yes. They did that too, where the guy was harassing the son.
Oh, I love
Yes.
that scene.
Yes.
Love that scene. That was a husband and a father defending his kids. And the fact that he did what he did, he put him down on the table and whispered in his ear.
Yeah.
He made it clear to him, I will find you. I will hunt you down. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
You threatened my son, then you threatened my wife. I'm like, whoa, you made a mistake. Even when, like I said, when it was all said and done, the guy left. When it was the firefighter, he said, remind me of not to mess with you, Clark. He thought he was mild-mannered. He me not mild-mannered, that's for sure. Brother was not one to be messing with. And now, to be messed with, of course, your boy Mo, because now I gotta go start paying some bills.
We'll be
We'll be right back. I don't like you. You just sit there and you just do nothing.
You're just
We're gonna go dark. Listen.
Hi, I am Charles Laloma, and I am the owner of the LDM Network, and I hope that you're enjoying this episode. But if you want to see past episodes of this show or any other of our shows, go to the ldmnetwork.net. We have large contents of different type of shows, and we even have podcasts. So again, check them out at ldmnetwork.net. So without further ado, let's get back to this episode.
And we're back. Of course, the glory there. Yeah, you're gonna go on. I'm done paying the bills. You're gonna be doing your part.
You guys need to be.
Well, you got a corner you're gonna be working very soon.
You guys need to really see us behind the scenes.
That's when you wonder. It's like, why isn't he working the corner?
And you gotta wonder also why how it's more fun because there's things we could say that we can't say on.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of things we can't say because So, that being said, the next subject of the matter is Batman. Again, like on that's one, but thing is, there's so many Batman animated features that it's...
And not enough Superman. Anyway.
Yeah. So the next one in mind that's coming up is now season 2 of Batman, the Cape Crusader.
Yeah.
I know, you didn't see that one coming. Because, you know, everybody, we're talking about in the last segment regarding Bane, Nightfall. So, and we're excited about that. But I remember, was it like 2 years now? Almost 2 years ago, Batman the Cape Crusader had come out. And I watched the first season, and I liked it. But it kind of took it back, like, towards, like, the 1940s style of Batman.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, you know, that kind of makes you nostalgic for those old movies. This particular animation gives you that feel, and I have to admit, I did enjoy it.
If they wanted to compete with Marvel, they should have made it live action and made it noir. Like, if they really want to compete with Marvel. You know, it's just my opinion.
No, but it's making me reflect on Noir again. I know I reported this before, but I gotta say, you know, that was brilliant.
Yeah?
That was brilliantly done. You know,
Okay.
Spider-Man Noir was brilliantly
I'll
done.
start watching it.
You haven't watched it yet?
No.
Should I take his nerd card? Just tell him,
No,
take the freaking
no,
nerd card.
no. I've been going through some personal pain issues, so you gotta give me a break. Yeah. So, and
Well, I tell you about going past level 3. That's why you got that pain.
I know, and I just came back from vacation, so you gotta give me time.
Oh,
to
he
catch
came
up.
back from vacation.
Yes.
Yes, with his tan.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. For now. You get to keep your nerd card for now, but
Good.
you're on notice, bro.
Good.
But I'm telling you, that's one to watch. And this is coming from a character that didn't have a series. If I'm not mistaken, he didn't have a series. He showed up in the Spider-Man in the Spider-Verse.
Yep.
And again, wow. And pretty much all this, I would like to say is made up, but I'm pretty sure there's some context to Spider-Man Noir in one end to another. But brilliantly done. I like Nick Cage in this. Love Nick Cage in it. Nick Cage was awesome in this particular variation of Spider-Man. So yeah.
Okay.
So digressing back to, of course, the Cape Crusader. I can't wait to see what they have in store for this season coming up, because again, I don't think they showed too many villains or his rogues yet, but more should come. And by that time, since he's like, it's kind of like the movie Year One. You know, after that he becomes established. So what's next? That's the big question mark, and I can't wait to see what's going to be happening for the Cape Crusader, Batman the Cape Crusader. Again, there's so many of the animated features coming out that, you know, it's like, and of course we have our live actions, Spider-Man, what have you. That's next month too. Well, we'll fill you in on that one.
Yes.
As time goes by. That's another episode yet to come. But I'm telling you, this is the summer, bro. This is the great summer
We said the
of
same
all
thing
these
last
things.
summer.
Yeah, but this has more stuff than ever. Before we were looking at, there was very little movies, more animated features. Now it's like a flooding of both.
Yeah.
A flooding of both. It's like DC versus Marvel. Which one's coming out on top? And then you have the little films in between them. That, like I said, in the last show, Clayface
Yeah.
as a horror.
And speaking of horror,
Oh yes.
you have something you want to share, Mo?
Mm-hmm. I say these words. Klaatu, Vidakta. There.
Yeah.
I said them.
He said, his voice echoed. Amazing.
For those who got that reference, I love you. For those who have not, it's because you got to revisit the Evil Dead series.
You're about to go back to school.
Oh boy, what? From the very beginnings, from the first Evil Dead with Sam Raimi and Bruce Campbell, to Evil Dead 2, Dead by Dawn.
Do you think he's gonna make an appearance?
Well, he made an appearance in the first horror flick. When he did the first one, they remade it, and it was like, mind you, there was no such thing as a genre called action horror comedy. Action slash comedy horror until Evil Dead came along.
Yeah. So do you think? Yeah.
And so when
it would only be right.
it would only be right, but the thing is, they revised the series. So the series is more of a serious-based horror. And when I say gore, I mean it's gore with like exclamation points to infinity. That's how much gore keeps coming up in this movie. I'm like, whoa, wow.
Unfortunately, I will be taking my mother to see this movie, but I will go see another movie because I'm too scared to watch scary movies and horror movies. I could watch scary movies. I cannot watch horrific, demonic movies. It just doesn't do it for me. Sorry.
Why?
As a kid, I saw Exorcist, the original.
Here, you want to desensitize yourself?
Yeah, I know.
I had a family member
Yeah.
who sat down,
Mm-hmm.
took the 30th anniversary one. That's the one that has everything with Reagan down the stairs, backwards, all of that. Upstairs, and did their version of a 24-hour of A Christmas Story, but instead it was a 24-hour of The Exorcist. This thing was placed on an unlimited loop, where it played over and over and over. By like the 5th or 6th one, I guarantee you, I'm positive I heard giggling throughout the entire movie, and then outright laughter.
Yes,
and then after that, it was done.
When that little chick turns and says, "Do you know what she did?" And then her head spins completely around.
No. What she did even before that.
Yeah, I didn't want to know.
When mommy come walking in the room.
Yes. I didn't want to know before that.
Things you can do with a crucifix. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
If you watch the Original Exorcist, you'll see what I mean.
You know, there's another behind the scenes thing where they said the house nearly caught on fire.
Mm-hmm.
And the room where they filmed that scene where things actually move out of place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I'm not living there. Oh.
Yeah, I'm not.
No.
And I'll go watch it because I'm still waiting for a good, decent horror. Like the one before Evil Dead Burns was Evil Dead Rises.
Mm-hmm.
So when I watched the first one, okay, they made it more serious. And then the second one that happened, it's like everybody got caught. Everybody became a deadite. I was like, oh, wow. And they spared no expense on the gore that followed. Oh, none whatsoever. And they had a female Ash.
Mm.
Not a male Ash.
Interesting.
No Kevin,
There was Ash all over
no Campbell, but you know what?
There was a lot of Ash.
Female Ash, and she was, she was alright.
There was a lot of Ash.
And a lot of Ash.
That right there scares me.
What, it was a backdropping.
Hey, we're talking about scary movies and a backdrop behind the scenes. Sorry. When I hop on your back, don't say nothing.
Yeah, that's when we're going to show you what behind the scenes happens when he jumps on my back.
Yeah, we out.
I'm telling you, it is something else when I say that this movie, when I watched the trailer, I was like, yo, what's going on here? And I'm not trying to say to myself, why is this happening? It's like the scene in the trailer shows people and bodies all over the place. Someone trying to run and escape. And as they're trying to escape, another person falls in front of them or something else is happening. And somebody's doing all this damage while she's trying to crawl away and survive. And I'm telling you, it is pandemonium, bro.
I can't wait till the third trailer drops. They always got like 3 trailers.
True, but you know what? I'm liking the idea that when they don't do like they're doing these trailers, but giving you a snippet. They're not showing like favorite parts or anything like that, which to me is great.
Yes.
Because quite frankly, I'm tired of running into, you know, like all these horror films that what you would call it, that has like the best, some, you know, like they say, the best scenes come up. You go, ooh, I want to go see it, and then you sit there and you're just going, why? Why did I do this?
Yeah, there's a movie that came out last summer like that.
There's a lot of them like that. What are you talking about? But then there was some that are not like that at all, and you know, I love the premise. I love the premise of them because they didn't give too much away. They made it interesting enough for you to go, and that's enough to make you come to the seat. Not like other films where they throw the good stuff at you and you go, oh, I gotta go see it. I gotta go see it. And then you go see it and you go, why? Why did that happen?
Yeah.
Why did I do this to myself? So, especially in horror films, like, you know, the first one, when I saw the trailer, got my attention. That's the very first paranormal activity. The first one. And I went to the midnight showing of it, and it was great. 2, 3, 4, 5. Ooh. I'm sorry, I almost threw up in my mouth. 6.
Yes.
It's like they took the same premise, with the exception of the 6, where they had a live element to it.
What was this?
Paranormal Activity.
Yeah, but this was Paranormal Activity that took the idea from the Blair Witch Project.
Yeah, but it was a student film.
Yeah.
That's the thing. They're like a Cinderella story because if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong. Correct me on this, but there was a student film. They spent $125,000 or $200,000, I think, on making the movie. They put it out there, and they circulated it by way of a website that said, if you want us in our city, you know, get a petition, a certain amount of people, and then we will get the reel and put it there. I remember seeing that, and I saw the trailer. I was like, oh, this looks cool. And then the following day, a big name company, and if I'm not mistaken, it was not Regal. It was the other one, AMC, proposed this. If you can get us, was it 1 million signatures, people to want to see this, we will host it at no charge in our theaters across the country. Guess what happened in 24 hours?
Oh, yeah.
24 hours, 1 million signatures like that. By that same, and that was on a Tuesday, Wednesday. Then it was announced Thursday for a midnight showing on Friday. I was there. Friday, midnight. And I think they had cameras facing the audience because for certain scenes. So that way, when they did the trailer again for this movie, they looked at the audience reactions. You know, and I think they had it on night vision. They were like, oh my god, oh my god. And I'm like, cool. I wish they called me like, cool. Ha ha ha. She bites it.
3 movies that came out in that same format where the camera was live. That one, the Blair Witch, and the sci-fi one where this big creature comes. And what's the name of that?
You mean Alien?
No.
Oh.
It was a big giant creature like Godzilla height.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Something Paradox.
No.
I remember seeing the last one, so something Paradox.
Not Paradox, it was Cloverfield.
Cloverfield, yes. But they had 3 different films.
The first one was awesome.
But the second one is also awesome with John Goodman, in which they're in the house in the basement, staying it all out. It's like, I think, 1 or 11 Cloverfield Drive. And it's that. The scene actually is not the aliens so much because they're out there, but the scene is taking place in a bunker in the house in which the guy who built the bunker saved 2 people who were out there, but it got real creepy real quick. It got creepy. I mean, it's more suspenseful than it is horror. And John Goodman, yo, I take my hat off to you. Yo, it was creepy.
Same style with a free camera, with a camera.
No. This is in found footage. Found footage is what you're talking about. When they find the footage, no. This was an actual film in which they're showing the characters. They're all locked up in a bunker. He has the key to let them leave, and so, but he's pretty much in control of both of them. And it gets weird fast. Well, not so fast, but it's a gradual. When you think, okay, the guy saved them, you know, good for him. But then it's like, oh, it's like somewhere between second and third act, you're going, run.
Now you're gonna make me watch that one.
And then the last one, which was in connection to the first film, but not so much with the creature. A little bit, but not so much. Cloverfield Paradox. Because this happened because of an experiment that opened a perpetual doorway.
Yeah.
And that doorway is why all those things, like the Cloverfield creature and all the aliens or whatever invading.
My brother noticed this. He joked about it. He said, did you see Thor coming down? And in the first movie, in the last scene when they're in the carousel or whatever, in the background, if you look at it, it has something falling from the sky.
Mm-hmm.
My brother was like, that's Thor. That's Thor coming down. He was joking, of course, but it made sense. So, yeah.
Well, in Star Trek, they didn't have Thor, but they had the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah.
In Star Trek First Contact, most people don't know this, but if you look at the battle scene before the Borg ship explodes, right? Ships, you know, all these ships are escaping, getting away, and one of them, and they threw it in there, was a Millennium Falcon.
Yes.
Flying away. I was like, get out. And then I pulled it and I played and said,
there's like in another...
There it is!
In another thing, there's an R2 unit flying around, I believe.
For what, in,
I don't know which thing it is, but I know it's an R2.
Okay.
It's R2D2. Yeah. And that, we're going to say...
Nope.
Not yet.
Not yet. No, not yet, because I'm remembering something else. When the Paradox was the gateway, it was like it kind of got the story into a full circle and brought it all together. So, in essence, that's one of the reasons, you know, you should check out that one. For those Evil Deads 1 through 3, I know they're going to be action. There's going to be some funny stuff. Especially the third one, Army of Darkness. I love Army of Darkness. Especially when I did.
Did you get the comic book?
Well, I got a comic book, and remember, I did a review on it, which was Boom Comics did a review, or Boom Comics did a comic called Reanimator
Didn't we go
versus Evil Dead.
We got that with you. I was with you when we got from the Big Apple.
Mm-hmm.
The Big Apple.
Yes, I did.
Yes.
But when I approached Jeffrey Combs in Star Trek Long Island about it, he wasn't happy. The reason why he wasn't happy is that he wanted to add input because the Reanimator is one of his characters, and he did, and he wanted to put in some input for that thing, and it cut him off. It cut him off on that before the release, and he was very, very pissed about that. I mean, how do you cut off a guy who actually created this character? If it wasn't for him in those movies, the Reanimator, you wouldn't have you wouldn't be writing a comic book to include Ash and the Evil Dead.
No.
So did him dirty on that one. I'm going to say that. Really did him dirty. And so with that, I'm going to definitely say now we can just say, you know what, folks. Thank you for visiting us, being a part of our show.
Ricans.
Ricans, right here, baby. And yes, we corrected the problem of going to the site when you go and you look up Nerdoricans at LDMnetwork.net /Nerdoricans. stuff, and then you'll get to the link to where it sends you to merch. And once you do, yes, the t-shirts are present right now. We're thinking about another item to add on there, which I think you guys are gonna love and get, you know. So keep a lookout for it. There it is, baby. Showing the pride all the time. All right? And again, thank you for joining us for another episode. I'm your boy Mark.
I'm you.
Live long and prosper.